Jeffrey and Alexandra have asked you all here today to be witness to their love, commitment to each other, and their next big step in life together. On behalf of them, I would like to thank you for being here with them to share this moment. A relationship is built upon so many things: the love between two people, a promise to always support each other, but a relationship is also held stable by the friends and family that surround it. Today is about celebrating the couple, but it's also about honoring the love and support their family and friends have always been there to provide for them. By being present with Alexandra and Jeffrey today, you are helping to form the strong foundation of their lifelong journey and demonstrating a promise to them that you will be there for them if ever they should need you. As many of you know, Jeffrey and Alexandria met when he started going into the bar she worked at with friends. They both noticed each other's sense of humor and thought the other was fun to be around. Jeffrey's friends pointed out they were both single, so why not go out on a date? They had their first date at Mr. Dominic's and had a great time together. Alexandria and Jeffrey quickly discovered they had a lot in common. They enjoyed a lot of the same things as each other, especially the outdoors, camping, and just going on adventures together. You can tell that Alexandria and Jeffrey were having a great time spending time together, and that they found it easy to be together. The most important trip of all, though, definitely has to be their trip to Disney, when Jeffrey decided it was time to ask Alexandria the big question. After some testy times, as Jeffrey attempted to sneak the ring through airport security without alerting Alexandria to what he had, he found the perfect spot to pop the question in Animal Kingdom. Jeffrey needed Connor and Parker's help, so all three guys got down on one knee in front of Alexandra and asked her to be part of their lives together. Clearly, family is very important to both of them, and Jeffrey had more than just himself to think about. Alexandra found her place in Jeffrey's and the boys' lives, not only as Allie, but as an important part of their group, making everyone's life easier and better for it. She fit perfectly into Jeffrey's home, and they worked together to create a new definition of life together. These days, life is chaotic, messy, and full of farm animals, but couldn't bring more joy for both of them and the boys. When I met this little family that Jeffrey and Alexandra have created together, I could feel the love and connection between the four of them and the bond they have developed. Jeffrey spoke about Alexandra as his beautiful, crazy, dedicated partner. She always makes way too much food, she's one of a kind, and most importantly, she's great with Parker and Connor. Alexandra spoke about Jeffrey's tough and stoic love, but at the end of every day, she knows for a fact that he's got her back. They're a team, and she's so happy to be his mate. The best thing about a couple's story is that it's theirs to love and enjoy. It doesn't have to be fantastical, and it certainly doesn't have to be anything crazy. The only thing that really matters is that two people have built a bond together. Jeffrey and Alexandra support each other, love each other, and are both so happy with the life they have built together. Alexandra and Jeffrey, you are about to make your promises to one another. You will find that as you live by these vows over the years, investing your time, love, and your commitment to one another, the happy times of your life will be twice as joyous because you'll share these joys in marriage. Jeffrey, do you take Alexandra to be your wife, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until you are parted by death?
I do.
Alexandra, do you take Jeffrey to be your husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish until you are parted by death?
I do.
The ring, an unbroken circle, represents unending love. As often as either of you look upon these rings, may you be reminded of this moment and the love you have promised to one another. Jeffrey and Alexandra, I want to wish you both much love and happiness as you begin your new journey. Remember to always make time for each other in life, and love will never be far behind. Alexandra and Jeffrey, you have pledged your faith to each other in the company of two wonderful families and your circle of friends. And now, by the power vested in me by the state of New York, I pronounce you husband and wife. You can kiss your bride. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. Jeffrey and Alexandra Zimmer.
This reading is very special to me. It was read at my wedding 32 years ago, and it's brought us a lot of luck and happiness, and I hope it's the same for you. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You will be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. You shall be together even in the silent memory of your loved ones. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Sing and dance together, and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. For though the strings of the harp are alone, they play the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. Stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress tree grow not in each other's shadow, but next to each other in the same earth.
Allie and Jeff, I couldn't give you much wisdom on marriage, but I am giving you wisdom that I think means a lot to me about life, and I hope it means a lot to you guys too. All of what we need to know about life and love, what to do and how to be, we learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there in the sandbox at nursery school. These are the things that we learn together. Share everything, play fair, don't hit people, put things back where you found them, clean up your own mess, don't take things that aren't yours, say sorry when you hurt somebody, wash your hands before you eat, flush, and close the seat for the gentleman. Warm cookies and cold milk are very good for you. Give them to someone who feels sad. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think and draw and paint and play and be together every day. Take a nap in the afternoon, if children allow you to. Be aware of wonder. And remember the little seed in the plastic cup, the roots go down and the plant goes up, and everything that we ever need to know is in that cup somewhere. And it's still true, no matter how old you are or who you're with, when you go out in the world, it is always best to hold hands and stick together. Congratulations.
It is a tradition when all the Zimmer family is together like they are today, that our Grandpa Zimmer says the blessing before we eat. Grandpa couldn't be here today due to health constraints, but he very much wanted to be a part of Jeff and Allie's special day. Today, the Zimmer tradition will continue.
Heavenly Father, we give thanks for thy many blessings. Bless this food to our use. Bless us in thy service. Amen.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Renee, and I'm going to talk about Allie for a minute. Allie and I have been friends for quite some time. She is one of those people who, as soon as you meet them, you usually feel like you've known them your entire life. We hit it off right away, and like any true friendship, we've cheered each other on, held each other up. We've cried together and laughed together, and everything in between. We have seen each other through some of our most trying moments and many of the very best, including today. Allie has so many endearing qualities. Allie willingly and constantly puts everyone's needs before her own. She gives 100% to any task. And what I admire most about her is she is up for anything. And I mean anything, always. She doesn't want to miss any experience or any visit with a friend or family member. She will say yes to any plan I can concoct, whether it be a girls' day of shopping and nail appointments, not too hard to imagine. Allie's also game for a short trip for a good hike. She'll also sign up for any race we can find online or drive across the state to climb up a mountain. We've created many projects crafting in my cold garage and shared a cold drink on her porch on a hot summer day. And many of you know her much longer than I have, and many of you know her much better than I do. As most of you probably witnessed at some point, her usual responses when presented with an activity are, "Oh, that sounds like fun. I'd love to do that. Sure, that would be great." And I can only imagine these conversations she has with Jeff when he says things like, "How about downhill skiing this winter with 2 small boys?" Or how about summer weekends getting up before the sun to go fishing? Also things like, "What do you think about chickens? A turkey? How about a dozen pigs?" And most recently, the biggest question, "Will you marry me?" And in true form, I can only imagine Allie saying, "That sounds like fun." "Yes, definitely. And sure, that sounds great. I'd love to do that." She is adventurous and willing, and that is why she and Jeff are such a great pair. Her adventurous spirit matches his perfectly, and they are so similar in so many ways. They rarely are at rest unless they're planning their next move. I know this next adventure is what she looks forward to most. She has fallen in love with this amazing trio of boys, and I know they are so lucky to have her because of the incredible person we all know her to be. And I know she feels so blessed to have them in her life. And I am incredibly honored to be part of this beautiful day. Congratulations. Cheers to you guys.
So I would like to thank you all for being here today to celebrate in Jeff and Allie's special day. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jeff's older but wiser sister. There has been an ongoing debate in our family as to whether or not Jeff is the favorite child or whether or not I'm the favorite child. But one would argue that Jeff is the favorite, as my parents stopped having kids after Jeff, as he is perfect. One thing that can't be argued, I have a much better head of hair than Jeff does. Like most siblings, Jeff and I have had days when we don't like each other too much, but we always love each other and are always there for each other at any time, except during hunting and fishing season. Jeff is unavailable at those times. 4 years ago, when I met Allie, we immediately became friends. And today I'm so proud to finally be able to call her my sister. I can't actually remember the first time I met Allie, and I believe that is because from the moment Jeff introduced Allie to our family, she just fit. Her huge heart, her wanting to always do everything for everyone, and her love and devotion to Jeff and the boys were everything my family and I ever wanted for Jeff. Jeff and Allie's love for each other is palpable. As they start the next chapter of their lives together, I know their love will continue to grow. Everyone raise their glass. Jeff and Allie, may today be the start of a new adventure filled with laughter, definitely some fishing, and love. To Jeff and Allie.